Shake. Oh, damn it!
Nice.
We're gonna be late for the gondola. Run before it's too late. See the car going by you. You want to go red or black? Black! The what?
The little company dance.
Okay. What does that mean?
Isn't it great that it's winter again? And what better way to spend your winter than a ski trip to Japan? This year, we decided to go to Shiga Kogen Ski Resort, supposedly home to Japan's largest ski resort, as well as the highest ski lift in Japan. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail later. For 14 days, we stayed at 3 different accommodations, from cheap, dodgy ones to fancy ones. We got around by car, by shuttle bus, on foot. We rented ski gear from different shops, ones that are not so good, ones that are really, really good. We skied at almost all the different ski areas. Some are fantastic, some not so great. We dipped our butt-naked bodies in numerous onsens and ate a ton of delicious Japanese food. Along the way, we've learned quite a lot about Shiga Kogen that we wish we knew before we got there. Hopefully the tips I share in this video will help you better plan for your next ski trip to Shiga Kogen. Let's start. Shiga Kogen is located about 4 hours away from Tokyo, or about 6 hours if you're coming from Osaka by train, by bus, or car. But Shiga Kogen is so big. Which part of Shiga Kogen are you talking about? I hear you ask. You'll find in Shiga Kogen advertising 18 skiable areas, 600 hectares of slopes, 52 chairlifts, all very impressive numbers. But I find that a bit overwhelming. Their own online brochures splits up the ski resorts into just 5 areas, which personally is a lot easier to understand. Starting with the central area. It's the biggest area both in terms of skiable terrain and number of accommodations on offer. It's central because it's the entry point into Shiga Kogen area and it's where the main bus shuttle interchange is as well. So it's a convenient place to get to any other part of the resort. It's also closest to the famous Snow Monkey Park, if that's important to you. The Yakebitai area is home to a large-scale hotel brand called Prince. It's significantly bigger than any other hotel by a long shot, as they have 3 separate buildings littered around Yakebitai area. Okushigakogen ski area has some of the highest end hotels you can find, but probably also the most remote of all the ski resorts, being at the far end of the ski resort. Yokoteyama area, located at the other extreme end, is home to the highest ski lift, along with some pretty awesome sceneries and cafes. While Kumanoyu is a small resort by comparison, with the ski slopes primarily aimed at beginners. Regardless of where you're coming from and how you're getting to Shiga Kogen, You will no doubt arrive or pass through the main bus interchange called Yamano Eki that I mentioned earlier. It is basically the main entrance and exit for Shiga Kogen Ski Resort. From here, the free local bus shuttle will get you to the far end of Okushigakogen in about 40 minutes, or about 20 minutes if you're driving on a good day. Same goes for the other end of Yokoteyama, taking about 40 minutes by bus or just 10 minutes if you're driving in ideal conditions. So, depending on your priorities, it may be wise to get to know your way around in order to maximize your time at Shiga Kogen. Let me get to that in a bit more detail later in the video. Given that Shiga Kogen is so big, where should you stay? This is ultimately going to come down to your priorities, whether that's a local traditional experience, convenience, or just outright luxury. Let me go over 3 different ones that we stayed at to help you with your own accommodation plans. The first option is what I call, I just want to go skiing option. By that, I mean you really don't care too much about fancy hotel facilities, nor do you want to spend too much either. You'll be out skiing all day anyway. Well, for that, consider Shiga Riverside Hotel, located right next to Kumanoyu Ski Resort. The hotels on this side of Shiga Kogen are generally older, more traditional Japanese, and as a result, will suit those who prefer a more local experience. Shiga Riverside in particular certainly looks its age, but it is run by a friendly family, generally willing to help and accommodate. Look, the room itself is pretty basic, even by Japanese standard. But the bed is comfortable, you'll sleep just fine. There is no daily room makeup service, and there's no bins in the room either. The included food is decent, but you don't have any choices over what you want. Some days it's great, some days not so great. But you'll be full, ready for skiing the next day. The facilities included basic onsen baths and even a swimming pool. It does appear to be popular with local schools, so on some days of the week, it's packed with high school kids as well. The biggest selling point of this resort is simply that it's right next to Kumanoyu Ski Resort. No long walks, no need to worry about queuing for buses, just walk out and go skiing. For 15,000 yen per person per night, that includes both breakfast and dinner, I think it's a pretty good deal for that convenience. The second option is what I call stay near the main bus terminal option. Specifically, stay near Yamano Eki at the central area is located. What's special about staying here? Well, for starters, there's a gondola that allows you to go ski the lower half of central area if you don't feel like taking a bus elsewhere. And when you feel like it, you can jump on the bus to ski any other areas as you wish. And because bus services start here, you won't have to fight for a seat on the bus either. Best of all, when you leave Shiga Kogen, you'll be the first to get out of the ski area to go to your next destination. A good example of this option is Shirakabaso. The hotel seems to be popular with families with young children. The room is again relatively basic and traditional Japanese. It features a small common area where you can play board games and even table tennis. The food on offer is also very traditional Japanese. Not sure why, but kids seems to like the food here as well. Staff can speak English well, and there's a cozy onsen worth sitting in for hours if you have the time. Expect to pay around 16,000 to 17,000 yen per person per night. Option 3 is what I call I need my Dyson hairdryer option. If you want a fancier option for your family, staying at one of the resorts towards Okushigakogen makes sense. A good example here is Hotel Phenix. The rooms are very generous in size, with separate areas for sleeping and chilling around. An outstanding part of your stay here is no doubt the dinner included with your stay. It is a fine dining experience that takes 2 hours to complete. You have a choice of either Italian or Japanese cuisine every night for your dinner. Here's a tip. The Japanese restaurant is the more popular of the two and requires booking up front. If you're a fan of Japanese food, make sure to tell them before you arrive if you don't want to miss out. And yes, you do actually have to dress up to go to dinner here as well. No rocking up in shorts and slippers. It's nice to see a real fireplace as well, where you can relax and chill with your favorite choice of poison. Yes, the onsen bath is fancy, promising the world to make your skin glow again with numerous health benefits. A Dyson hairdryer is a nice bonus that will easily put a smile on some members of your family.
It looks like I came out of a salon.
Now this hotel is a ski-in ski-out resort, so it's super convenient to ski the Okushigakogen area. But once you're ready to explore other areas, the hotel does provide private shuttle buses that can get you to nearby ski resorts as far as Takagamahara at the central area. So is there a downside to this hotel? Well, if you're a snowboarder and need to rent one, the on-site ski rental shop does not offer snowboards. Keep that in mind, even though it's not a big deal, as the ski rental shop at the ski slope does have one that offers snowboard. For the Japanese style room we stayed at, expect to pay around 32,000 to 40,000 yen per person per night. With so many ski areas to choose from, where should you go skiing? Well, let's just get one thing out of the way. When the snow condition is great, just about any of the ski areas at Shiga Kogen is great. If you're a beginner, just about all of them have decent beginner runs. If you're an intermediate skier or snowboarder, well, this is where Shiga Kogen shines. Pretty much the entire resort is made for you. Shiga Kogen's claim of being the largest ski resort lies in the fact that it has the largest number of on-piste runs of any Japanese ski resorts. Meaning, not only do you get to ski all these groomed resort runs, you're also, as a result, covered by your travel insurance if you get injured skiing on their ski resort runs. Touch wood that it doesn't happen to you, but you're gonna get travel insurance, aren't you? I'll take that as a yes. As for the skiing itself, how good is it? Let's just say it's about as good as it gets for resort skiing. At Ichinose at the central area, there's some pretty jaw-dropping views at the top. More importantly, it still has some pretty decent variety of beginner and intermediate runs. The runs aren't particularly long, but the elevation of the mountain is high, so snow quality is dry and consistent as a result. It can get pretty packed here, especially on weekends though. Yakebitai is a little less crowded, and in my opinion, probably offers some of the best beginner run, given its main green run is long enough, yet it isn't too steep nor too flat, allowing it to progress fairly quickly. Okushigakogen, being a bit further away, is a little less crowded as well, and is arguably one of the most fun for the intermediates or advanced. We had a ton of fun from top to bottom, whether it's riding through trees or under the chairlifts. If you're after English-speaking instructors for your ski or snowboard lesson, Shiga International Ski School is based here. They do seem to have highly qualified instructors, ensuring you actually learn something from your lessons. At Yokoteyama, you absolutely should pay the highest ski lift a visit. The view and landscape here is out of this world. It can get a bit windy up here, so the lifts at the top aren't always open. Having said that, there aren't any beginner runs up there either, so keep that in mind. If you do make it up there though, you'll not only be rewarded with great skiing, the mountain cafes offer some pretty awesome food and coffee as well. Nishidateyama, was not too special from skiing perspective, does feature classic gondolas that you could ride to experience a piece of history. Especially on your day off skiing, it's a fantastic way to take a ride in one of these to soak in the views or just to relax. Now, you could treat each of these areas as separate ski resorts. If you're a beginner or here just for a short trip, you will probably only ever visit one or perhaps two of these areas. But if you're an intermediate or advanced skier, There's absolutely no reason why you can't explore all of them. We did, and here's one thing to keep in mind. The 3 areas on the left are interconnected, meaning you can ski from one to another. The 2 resorts on the right are also interconnected. You can't, however, ski from the areas on the left all the way to the right, or vice versa. For that, you have to take a shuttle bus or drive there. Overall, Shiga Kogen is a fantastic ski resort to visit. Let me end this video by sharing 2 more tips that could be important to you. Shiga Kogen, like many other ski resorts, is basically a giant national park with a ski resort in it. Unlike most other ski resorts in Japan, however, there is usually a village just at the base of the ski resort. That's where you typically have access to plenty of Japanese conveniences like Family Mart, Lawson, duty-free shops, boutique restaurants, pubs, and retail shops. Well, the closest village for Shiga Kogen is at Yudanaka Onsen, a journey that takes about 35 minutes by bus if you're coming from Yamano Eki, or if you drive, at least 20 minutes. There is very little village experience while you're staying in Shiga Kogen itself. So keep this in mind when considering going to Shiga Kogen. Lastly, if you're new to skiing,
it's fairly important that you remain comfortable when you're skiing or snowboarding. It doesn't take much to become uncomfortable, you know, and especially in the weather here in Shiga Kogen, when it's bucketing snow, your face is slightly exposed. It's gonna feel like a million ants coming at your face, biting your face off. It's pretty important that you wear the right amount of gear for the weather.
and that means wearing a face mask on windy days, thick gloves to keep your hands warm, good quality ski boots, snowboard boots to keep your feet warm, and most important of all, rent or get good quality ski snowboard equipment to make sure you can focus on improving your skiing. Shiga Kogen is a resort that is big enough that you can come back to many times over given its size. It's one of the top resorts in Japan for a reason, and I don't believe that you'll be disappointed if you plan to come here. Anyway, if you found this video useful, please hit the like, subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.